children, how are you doing? I hope you all are fine. So let's start the new chapter, Adventure and Space. Let's have a look inside. Mountaineering and outer space. So today we are going to read about both the topics. Are you people ready? Huh? So let's start with warm-up exercise. Vibhu and Rishi are brothers. Vibhu loves playing games on the computer, while Rishi loves outdoor activities. During summer holidays, their family decided to go camping in the mountains. Vibhu would stay at the camp playing with games in phone and only join the bonfire in the evening. Rishi, on the other hand, tried all the camp activities. Who do you think would have enjoyed the summer holidays more? And why do you think so? सोचिए किसने ज़्यादा इंजॉय किया उन हॉलीडेज़ को और ऐसा क्यों? जो आपने सोचा है वो ऐसा क्यों? किसने इंजॉय किया, क्यों किया, है ना? इसके बारे में आप क्या सोचते हो? An adventure is an activity which involved risk, danger and uncertain experiences. तो अगर आपको एडवेंचर करना है तो सोच कर रखिए कि आपको रिस्क भी उठाना पड़ेगा, डेंजर भी होगा और कुछ ऐसे एक्सपीरियंसेस भी होंगे जो कभी आपने सोचे ही नहीं. A person who undertakes an adventure is called adventurer. These people have true determination and the spirit of adventure. They get immense pleasure on successfully completing their missions. Nowadays, adventure sports and tourism have become very popular. People participate in these activities for the sake of thrill and excitement. Some famous adventurous activities are mountaineering and skiing, paragliding, river rafting, scuba diving, hot air ballooning and bungee jumping, etc. One of the most challenging adventure sports is mountaineering. Mountaineering, this mountain climbing is better known as mountaineering. India has many famous mountain ranges and peaks spread across the length and breadth of our country. There are mountains in the eastern and western Ghats in peninsular India, the Aravallis and the Vindhyachal in central India, and the magnificent Himalayas in the north and the east. Mountain climbers from all over the world come to India to climb various peaks. It is important to understand mountains before climbing them. They have some unique features like as you go higher, air pressure reduces. Hence you breathe in less oxygen. जैसे जैसे आप ऊपर जाते जाएंगे आपका प्रेशर क्या होगा, एयर प्रेशर क्या होता जाएगा, कम होता जाएगा और ब्रीदिंग आपको कम ऑक्सीजन मिलेगा ब्रीथ करने के लिए. Less oxygen means less blood is carried to the various parts of the body. Hence we get tired more easily and we can carry less and we need to rest more frequently. As you go higher, it becomes colder. Generally beyond 12,000 feet, areas are snow covered in summers also. The temperatures go well below 0 degrees Celsius at night and on cloudy days. In snow-bound areas, you may not get water. Snow has to be heated and melted into water. Thus, fuel has to be carried to melt snow, heat food and to keep warm. So, ऐसी जगह पर बच्चों वहाँ पर तो पानी भी नहीं मिलता क्योंकि बर्फ़ को पिघलाकर पानी बनाना पड़ता है और उसके लिए फ्यूल की ज़रूरत होती है ना. Mountain climbers use special hard framework of spikes called crampons that are strapped onto the boots. They help the mountaineer to get a firm hold on the ice. Their clothes are specially made to keep them warm. Now, how have you ever climbed on a tree? If so, were you scared while climbing it? Training. These days, certain organizations have facilities to train people to climb lower peaks over a short period of time. Such climbs give us an idea of mountaineering. If we wish to further pursue this hobby, then we need to undertake special training. Training for high altitude climbing requires strength and stamina. Yes, दोनों चीज़ों की तो बहुत ज़रूरत है बेटा. हमारे अंदर स्टैमिना भी होना चाहिए और उतनी शक्ति भी होनी चाहिए. To build up strength and stamina, mountaineers need constant training and practice since the risks are high and the weather is unpredictable. कभी आप हवाएं चलनी शुरू हो जाएंगी, कभी गर्मी हो जाएगी. Proper planning and preparation is very important due to this one. क्यों unpredictable होता है ना हमारा जो weather है, इसलिए हमें बहुत ही planning और preparation के साथ जाना पड़ेगा. In India, special training is offered at two places. Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, which is NIM, at Uttarkashi in the Garhwal Hills, Uttarakhand, and Himalayan Mountaineering Institute HMI in Darjeeling. These institutes train mountaineers to acquire various climbing skills and use of special equipments. Great mountaineers. There are some great mountaineers. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. They both are famous mountaineers. They were the first people to climb Mount Everest and the highest peak in the world. Not only did they climb the peak successfully, but they also made it possible for hundreds of other mountaineers to follow their footsteps. They are examples of true determination and spirit of adventure. Bachendri Pal, yes, very renowned name. She is the first Indian woman which is to climb Mount Everest. Yes, she was the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest, bachcho. Her story is of great determination and courage. On 23rd May 1984, Bachendri Pal, that she climbed up to the summit of Mountain Everest along with the Sherpa chief Ang Dorje. They started from the south pole at the sunrise, crossing huge ice cliffs and vast glacier fields. Tirelessly, they cut their way through using ice peaks, climbing rocks and ice axes. They braved strong winds and after the challenging climb reached the summit or the mountain top. The other two team members who climbed up after them were Lahato and Puljor. Everyone praised Bachendri Pal for completing the South Col climb and returning in only 10 hours and 40 minutes, including the halt at the top of the Everest. Her team members were amazed that Bachendri looked as fresh. After the long climb and return, she had, as she had when she started the climb early in the morning. वैसे ही लग रहा था जब वो पहुंची कि जैसे सुबह निकली थी ना, बिल्कुल वैसे ही दिखाई दे रही थी. So, she was awarded the Padam Shri as well as the Arjuna Award for this great achievement by the Indian government. Santosh Yadav is the only woman in the world who has the credit of climbing Mount Everest twice in her life, and the Indian national flag was hoisted on Mount Everest on 29th May 1953 along with the Union Jack and the Nepalese national flag. So now let's read about Arunima Sinha. She was the first female amputee, a disabled person to climb the Mount Everest in 2013. She was a national level volleyball player who was pushed from a running train by thieves in 2011 while she was resisting them. One of her legs had to be amputated and she wanted to do something in her life so that people would not pity her. Outer space, the sky and the heavenly bodies have always made us very curious to know about them. The science and study of all celestial bodies like stars, space, planets and galaxies is called astronomy. And the person who travels into space is called astronaut or cosmonaut. The machine which carries humans in space is called spacecraft or spaceship. People have sent different man-made objects such as Bhaskar and Rohini Apple, Insta 1A and Inset 1B into space. Satellites and other space probes revolve around the Earth, and unmanned spacecrafts are controlled by scientists in space stations. Spacecraft or satellite sent in space. A satellite is an object which revolves around a planet in an orbit. The moon is the only natural satellite of our home planet, the Earth. Some of the spaceships or spacecrafts revolves around the Earth, and they are called artificial or man-made satellites. Natural satellites can be seen clearly in the night sky because they reflect sunlight. The first unmanned spaceship or satellite that launched from the Earth was Sputnik, and it was sent into space by Russia on October 4, 1957. It was the beginning of space age. India launched in its first satellite, which was Aryabhat, in 1975, and India is one of the few nations which has the technology to send satellites into space. Yes, ये बहुत सारे देशों में एक ऐसा देश है जिसके पास वो टेक्नोलॉजी है जो कि अपनी सैटेलाइट्स को स्पेस में भेज सके. The spacecrafts are sent in space due to the following reasons. So, number one, cameras of weather satellites take photographs of the Earth and its atmosphere, including clouds. They send back these photographs to weather study centers on the Earth, and the weather bulletin is telecasted on Indian TV every day on the basis of information received from Inset 1B. So, weather bulletin predicts the weather and gives us early warning of rain, storm and or cyclone. Communication satellites send live telecast of the events on TV to distant places. Events may be of political, cultural or of sports. It also communicates dance, drama and films for recreation to be seen everywhere on the globe. Astronomers are unmanned spacecrafts to take detailed observation and measurement of our solar system and the stars. Unmanned spacecrafts or space probes have traveled as far as the planet Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. The main difficulty in going into space is pull of Earth's gravity. Secondly, when the spacecraft is in outer space beyond the pull of Earth's gravity, astronauts float inside the spacecraft in a state of weightlessness. There is no force of gravity to pull and hold them down on the floor of the spacecraft. When they want to sit or sleep, they have to strap themselves with their seats. Yes, वो लोग बैठ नहीं सकते जैसे धरती पर होता है ना, वो लोग हवा में उड़ते जाते हैं. The food and water is packed in special tubes and squeezed directly into their mouths, or it will float away from them. They carry oxygen with them to breathe. Now let's have a look on training. These days different countries have set up institutes to study space. After the proper training, they send people into space. Some famous institutes are National Aeronautics and Space Administration, yani NASA, in the USA, and the Space Research Organization in India. They develop spacecrafts for different purposes. Great astronauts, yes. Now I am going to tell you about some great astronauts. These astronauts are hereby Neil Armstrong. This is a man who said when they stepped on the moon from Apollo. So that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, and he was the first man to set foot on the moon. The rocket and spacecraft together were 111 meters tall as 36-story building in Apollo 11, and the spacecraft was built into three parts: command module, service module and lunar module. Michael Collins and Edwin Aldrin also followed him, and they took photographs and picked up moon rocks and moon dust. They said the color of moon is Coca-Cola. Yeah, our earth looked them as beautiful as a blue lighted ball. Unique words: strap, a long narrow piece of leather or cloth that you use for keeping you in the same position. Let's have a look on the journey of Rakesh Sharma, the first Indian astronaut to go into outer space on 13th April 1984. It was the Indian Force pilot, squadron leader Rakesh Sharma, and he, along with two Russian astronauts, went into space in a spacecraft called Soyuz T-2. On being asked to describe how India looked from outer space by the then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi, Rakesh Sharma replied, "सारे जहाँ से अच्छा है ना, हिंदोसिता हमारा, सो बेटर देन द होल वर्ल्ड, पूरे संसार से अच्छा हमारा इंडिया है, हमारा देश है." He was awarded the Ashok Chakra for his achievement. Kalpana Chawla, she was the first Indian woman to travel to space, and she did this twice. She was an intelligent girl from the small town of Karnal in Haryana. She was selected for National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) space program for astronauts in 1994. On 19th November 1997, she went up to on her first space flight with the crew of SG S-87 that took off from Cape Canaveral in Florida and USA. Kalpana went up on the second flight of the Space Shuttle Columbia on 16 January 2003 from the Kennedy Space Center in USA. The spacecraft, however, had a tragic end to its journey, and in the accident that took place, there was no survivor. This young India-born astronaut was truly a global citizen. She inspired all young children to move forward and reach for the space. Sunita Williams, this is an American astronaut of India origin, made a journey into space in the Space Shuttle Discovery. She was born on 19 September 1965, and she did her schooling and college in America. She logged over 2,770 flight hours in more than 30 different aircrafts, and she was selected by NASA in 1998 to be sent to space. Sunita Williams holds the record of the longest space flight, 195 days, for female space traveler. Williams' father, Deepak Pandya, belongs to Mehsana, Gujarat in India. The first traveler in space was a little white dog called Leka, and the Russians sent Leka into space a month after Sputnik first. The first man to travel round the earth in space was Major Yuri Gagarin from Russia, and Valentina Tereshkova, a Russian woman, was the first woman to go into space. Checkpoints: name the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest. The woman to climb Mount Everest twice in her life. Unmanned spaceship that launched from the earth, and Indian man and moon. Indian man on moon and Indian women travel to space. So now it's your turn, my dear children. Tick the correct option by choosing the correct option. Fill in the blanks with suitable words. आपको बताया गया है, अब जाइए ये स्टेटमेंट चेक करिए और जो भी वर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड मिस है उसे लिख दीजिए. राइट, T फॉर ट्रू एंड F फॉर फॉल्स. आपको क्या करना है, इन स्टेटमेंट को चेक करना है. अगर आपको ट्रू लगती हैं तो आप यहाँ इसको मार्क कर दीजिए, अदरवाइज नॉट. आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चंस. सो ये क्वेश्चंस आपके चैप्टर में से उठाए गए हैं. गो एंड गेट द आंसर फॉर दिस and write in your notebook. Look at the pictures given below. What are the people in pictures doing? And beyond the zone, do you think trekking and mountaineering damages this damage the environment? And in Paris, discuss how these adventure sports can be damaging to Mount Everest and the environment. You have to present your discussions to the class. Skill power brainstorming. How and why do you think people make such difficult trips. Why is physical fitness important for adventurers? Glowing mind, do we learn teamwork, discipline and leadership from adventure activities? How these activities change our lives? Activity from the two groups and make a PowerPoint presentation on any space mission. Its importance to and some interesting facts, share it in the class. Okay, and while doing this, have fun, enjoy.